Well, obviously just really proud of the team, of the crowd for coming out 11 a.m. I don't think any of us really love that time. It's a tough one for people to get here on a Sunday, but Beaver Nation didn't disappoint. And, Cal played a great game. They hit tough shots. They made runs at us. That second quarter was we took a big hit from them. Part of it was foul trouble. I thought, we battled adversity today, and I thought, every game has a little bit of it in it. Today was the first time I think we had all three of our posts with two in the first half all season long. And so the team, though, rallied. Maddie Washington played great. Marie Gulich came out and hit two shots right off the bat that I thought set the tone for us. And then Mitt goes, and everybody that played in the first half scored, and everybody that played today scored. And so that pretty much sums up who we are. And I thought it was a perfect senior day, for our group, because they empowered their teammates the way they play. This is an unselfish team. I thought we set the tone. You look at the assist numbers, 20 to only 14 turnovers. And so I thought this was just a perfect ending to a fantastic regular season and a conference title.
For both of you, you can now say that you've done this 3 times. So just what's special about this specific title, maybe compared to the other 2?
I think that's because we're seniors. It's kind of like the last one. And I think particularly in this year, we had a lot of unknowns. And I think expectations were a little bit, not necessarily ourselves, we knew what it'd take to get here, but our team is just very, very different from a year ago. And so to have all these changes happen and then get back to this point, that's what makes it super special. And then us being seniors, our last go around.
Yeah, I agree. I think the unknowns that Gabby was talking about, we had no idea what we were going to get from people and what kind of team we were going to be, to be honest. And then, we sort of figured ourselves out as the pre-conference season continued on, and then conference started, and you start off with the Washingtons down to the Bay, down to LA. I mean, that's a pretty good test to figure out who you are as a team. And so I think what's really cool is how people have bought in to this system, to this culture, whatever we needed from people, whatever their role was supposed to be on any given night, people gave into that. Very selfless team. And so it's super fun to be a part of. Thankful that we could share it all together as seniors because it was our last go at it. And so it feels good to be on top.
Scott, was there a moment this season where you're like, yeah, this team is good enough to win the league? We got these pieces together.
Mm-hmm. Well, we saw flashes. That's a big statement, understanding what this league is. And I think Washington, that day, that set a tone for what we were going to be in conference. The preseason, when you do have, you have leadership experience, no doubt. I mean, we have some players that have seen it all. There were times in the preseason where I thought I wasn't quite sure how good we could be. We were up and down. I mean, this is a team that was down 14 against Idaho in the second quarter in a game in the preseason, and we were. I mean, not and Idaho's good, but don't get me wrong. But we were playing poorly, and it was like, okay, how good are we going to be, and what is our ceiling? And then you get back to the normalcy of Pac-12, and it's like, okay, this is what we do in conference, and this team set the tone for their conference play that day. And I thought they just carried that on, and the expectation that they created for their team, that starting group in particular, but these two next to me in particular, really said this is who we are and this is what we're going to be like. And then you don't know how the Bay is going to go, for sure, and then the Stanford win. I mean, once we had that one, it's like, okay, we're in the driver's seat. You knew it, and they didn't look back. And so that was probably when it started for me.
That being said, I was curious about that too. You guys, I think you were picked to finish 5th, right? So as a team, did you have an expectation of we should be the top 4, we should get a bye, we should win the conference? Like, you guys have such good internal leadership this program has for 2 years. What were players talking about in the locker room?
I think we were hungry to prove that we can be as good as we want to be. You can't really predict the wins and losses of the year, but we were going to give our best shot every night. And so whatever came from that, we were going to leave everything out there. And so, there are outside predictions, and there's always going to be rankings and all this stuff. But to say that we finished 16-2 in the best conference in the country and to win it and be the only one at the top. I mean, I think it shows the culture that we've built here, that we've bought into the system, we've believed in each other, and I think that's been the biggest thing is we believed in each other and the coaching staff and each player from the beginning. We've been trying to breathe confidence into each other and to have that belief consistently that we could do something special this year.
I think that went a little bit into our favor as well because it gave us that kind of underdog vibe, that underdog feel, and I think we've experienced what it's like to be an underdog and rise through that. And so I think that just motivated us even more.
I was curious too, when you look at the future, there were two great plays today by young kids when Mick dove on the floor and rolled the ball ahead with
Yes.
Like that was such a heads up play, and
That was
then
incredible.
huge minutes from Maddie, who was feeling it when she
Yeah.
took that second shot. Do you guys just look at that and take it as this program's gonna be okay no matter what?
Yeah, I think what Sid was alluding to, our whole culture is to build confidence into each other, no matter where you are at the roster, whether you're a freshman, whether you're a senior. I mean, this game demands that you have confidence if you're going to step onto the floor into the Pac-12, and so that's basically what we're trying to do every day. I mean, they play extremely well in practice. They're two very good players. All our players are really good, and our practices are competitive. And I think that's what gives us confidence is, we play each other the best, bottom line.
Yeah, I think this program is going to be in good hands, regardless. I mean, you see the plays that they made today, and they don't play like freshmen, and they really haven't since the moment they got here. They work so hard, they bring energy every day to practice, and like I said, this team's so selfless. It doesn't matter what role they're called into, they're going to execute that to the best of their abilities.
Scott, you got an opportunity in the last minute, the crowd's going crazy, giving you guys applause, and for one by one to get the seniors to come out, how special was that? And then for you guys to kind of have that moment where you got to come out and get that one last, round of applause.
Well, that's what certainly you hope for. I was praying that we'd have a little separation where we could do that and give them the ovation they deserved. I think when you think of senior day, I think we should be looking at it as senior weekend this weekend because of what Friday night was as well. And to go out the way that they went out with those 2 wins over the Bay in front of the crowds that they played in front of, storybook, right? Perfect. And so, to get that opportunity to let them hear it one more time today, we'll be back here, in a few weeks, but today was really special and obviously well-deserved.
I almost forgot when I came out and he reached for a hug, and I was like,
Yeah. Why are you
hugging
hugging
me? I'm like,
Yeah.
hey. And then, so shows where my mind was at. I'm just like, whatever.
I knew.
But yeah, of course, of course you knew. But no, and
Yeah,
then
she's ready to pack.
yeah,
She's like, all right, next one.
Next
yeah,
play.
why are we hugging? Yeah,
Senior day,
but
yeah.
the atmosphere was incredible today, and just like I've been saying, just one word comes to mind, and that's just gratitude. No one had to show up here at 11 a.m. No one had to, and they did, and that says a lot about where we are and who we are.
Yeah, it takes a village, and we talk a lot about how our belief within the team, within the coaching staff, but these people have believed in us too from the beginning, and to be able to share this weekend with them, to have a sellout crowd on Friday, to see almost 5,000 people in the gym today for an early tip. We're so blessed to be able to have the support system that we do, and we owe a lot of these close games that have been in Gill to them because we've always had home court advantage. And so, like Gabby said, gratitude and thankful for their support from day one.
Coach, can you talk just a little bit about how much the foul trouble was a situation early half of the game?
Yeah, it was significant. We were out of sorts. I think, who picked up their second foul? Marie was first, and then Bree early,
yeah, Bree
7
and
minutes, I
Colby.
think, left in the second quarter, right? And so now Colby's out there at the 5, which she doesn't get tons of minutes at. And she's an inch shorter than those two playing against Anigwe, which made us go zone, and which freed up Jalen, who went off today, by the way. Great game by her. But it did skew our system, but it forced us to go small, which is a good offensive lineup for us as well. And so I thought the team just adapted beautifully to it. We were able to play Colby then for a few minutes, I think 4 minutes with 2 fouls, and she did a great job not picking up her third. And so I thought the team just adapted and handled that adversity very well, you know, and so par for the course.
Switching gears a little bit, headed into the Pac-12 tournament, how strong is the overall depth of the league this year compared to previous years?
No, I think the bottom is up a little bit. I think the top is good. I think the top's been good. I mean, I remember a year ago, I mean, we didn't feel like our conference was bad, right? Everybody's talking about this year. I thought last year was ridiculous too. You know, and so the bottom of the conference is a little bit better. And I think you look at numbers, that's the case. And so overall improvement, but it's a war every night, and it always has been, you know. And so I think the depth is amazing. I think everybody who makes a postseason tournament, no matter what it is going to be well prepared. And this weekend coming up it's must-see TV. It is. It's just 3 wars, you know, hopefully. I mean, you want to stick around, obviously, right? And so back to back to back, it's on.
Gabby, you mentioned based on how media predicted you guys preseason, you took on the underdog role, but now you're the 1 seed, you're going into the tournament, UW's upset, Stanford's upset. Does the mindset change as being the underdog now that, I mean, you guys have been the hunted all season, but you haven't seen it that way. Do you see it any different now in the tournament?
Well, I can say this about the tournament. This entire thing that just went on, our whole conference is over. Everyone has a fresh mindset, and people are playing, or teams are playing for, you know, entrance into a postseason tournament. And so just everyone is just on a completely different level. So obviously we take the experiences that we just had in conference, but it's a fresh new set of everything. And so it's going to demand our best. It always does. Like you said, it's a tough 3 days if you can make it 3 days. But we've had experience being a number 1 seed and going in and losing first round. And we've also had experience being a number 1 seed and, you know, winning the whole thing. So we're going to rely on those experiences to carry us through.
Sid, this question's from my friend Jonathan here. He lost his voice.
Hi, Jonathan. I'm so sorry.
He's with the ABC station. They have the Oscars tonight. They're doing a little Oscar sportscast.
Nice.
And you have won Best Female Athlete. So what's your acceptance speech?
Oh my gosh, this is like so impromptu. Well, I would like to say thank you to my friends, family, teammates, coaches, all of the above. No, but seriously, is this real? This is a real thing?
Real speech,
Oh
and you
my
have
God,
literally
is this real?
15
Oh,
seconds
15
before
sec-
the music
okay.
comes on.
Or you start humming.
Okay, I just want to say thank you to Coach Ruick, the coaching staff, my teammates, for incredible opportunities from the beginning. Go Beavs! That was so much pressure.
Shout out to Leo. She should have given a shout out to Leo.
Shout out to my boy Leo. I got you.
Yeah.
Are you like a big fan?
I can be. I love the Titanic.
Yeah, she does. Yeah.
Scott, you mentioned that the run that Cal did go on to kind of, I think it was 12-2 or something like that, just then what flipped back in your favor?
Halftime.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, they
God
scored
bless.
22 on us in the second quarter, you know, after 12 in the first, and we let them get out in transition. I didn't think we transitioned very well. Our shot selection was not quite as good as it was in the first quarter, and we gave them some momentum. And, you know, Brown hitting those 2 threes was big. I mean, she had 12 points at halftime, you know, and so she was a huge player for them during that stretch. So halftime and getting our rotation back in order, you know. So I thought we weathered it well, though. I mean, considering we had a lead going into the half, which I was pleased with.
Any of you can answer this. So looking at the seeding, it looks like if you make it to the championship game, you're gonna have to go through 3 really athletic teams, or I guess 2 really athletic teams, because you would probably play USC or Cal, and then probably UCLA. You seem to handle Cal's pressure well today, certainly better than we've seen in the past. Do you guys feel a lot more comfortable now than you did even 2 weeks ago with when teams do decide to press you?
Absolutely. I think like that comes a lot from obviously in practice. We got the scout guys in quite a few times in between, you know, our games, and it was on. You know, they were told to pretty much put as much pressure as they can on us, and so I think, you know, we're growing a lot in that aspect. We haven't always been as strong, but you know, you want to be peaking around this time, and so I think you know, we've just continued to grow and get better in that aspect.
Yeah, we've had plenty of opportunities to learn lessons from our mistakes in the past, and so I think we take those experiences and remain composed, be there for each other. I mean, we can expect a lot of pressure, but it's not on one person to break it. I think it's our job, and our coaches put us in a position to break it as a group. And so just being level-headed, seeing clearly, and not letting it fluster us at all. And I think we're on the right track for that. Go Beavs!
Go Beavs.
I regret that.